from Vaccine Choice and Vax Canada. I'm just going to let them introduce themselves because, you know, she's just as dominant as I am, so, you know.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming out. This is an awesome crowd. My name is Giselle Baribeau. I'm with Vaccine Choice Canada. So I'm here to bring you greetings from everybody at Vaccine Choice Canada. We stand for choice, and we're here for you, for all Canadians, and even those people who are not here, whether they know it or not. Back on July 6th, our lawyer, Rocco Galati, filed a statement of a claim against Justin Trudeau.
Jail!
Against Doug Ford. Against Theresa Tam.
Jail! Murder! Murder!
Against Ontario's Ministers of Health, Education and Long-Term Care. Against 4 medical officers of health. And CBC. We list the COVID measures of self-isolation, social distancing, the compulsory wearing of masks, the arbitrary and unjustified closure of businesses, the closures of schools, daycares, park amenities, playgrounds, the denial of access to education, medical, dental, naturopathic, and other support, the closing of religious places of worship, the closure of parliaments and courts. None of these were scientifically or medically based. They pose physical and psychological harm. They were extreme, unwarranted, and unjustified. The statement of claim is 191 pages. You can go on our website and read all of it if you like, or I can summarize it in 2 sentences for you. Number 1, there is no science, there is no evidence, and there is no consent behind these measures. And number 2, this is fraud on a massive scale. Our lawyer, since filing, has been so gracious to do countless interviews for us from across Canada and internationally. And he would have loved to be here today, but he had other obligations. Beyond that, he is collaborating now with constitutional lawyers from other countries wishing to take legal action against their own governments. So I'm proud to say that Canada is leading the way in this legislation. Rocco Galati truly is a godsend. So while we wait for their statement of defense, we will file an injunction against the mask mandates. As more time passes, the more insane are these orders. Will they mandate next masks for outside, for daycares, for our homes? But legal action is only one means of resistance. It's an important one, but it's only one. And the awareness is growing. The more egregious their orders, the more support for our resistance. The more tracking and tracing, the more support for our resistance. And the closer we get to that warp speed vaccine, the more support for our resistance. So I encourage you to continue to build a community of freedom fighters around you because we really need each other. In the last few months, we have seen the rise of many courageous warriors. I could point to several of them here. But we need many more, so I encourage you to go back to your communities and be that courageous warrior for your children and for your grandchildren. Show them that freedom is worth fighting for. And I'll repeat what Mike said. God keep this land glorious and free.
Oh, Canada! Woo! Look at you guys! And look at you, Vlad. I am so proud and filled with gratitude to be here today. I am beyond humbled to be able to be with you all in this moment in history. Today is a day that will be in future history books as we all come together as one Canada. We are divided as a nation no more.
No more!
So welcome to all of my beautiful brothers and sisters from Quebec, First Nations, and Ontario. And as well, our other brothers and sisters watching from around the rest of the country today, we stand with you and the world. And the world.
BC!
Okay. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Amanda Forbes. Some of you know me from Vax Canada. But today I have the honor of not only representing the Vax team, but the Children's Health Defence Canada. Please know Polly, Brian, the Vax team, RFK Jr., and the CHD team all stand in unity with us. I'm going to tell a little bit of a story here. I had the privilege of running the premieres of a very controversial, informative, and amazing documentary some of you may have seen called Vax 2 across this great nation with the help of many amazing freedom-loving Canadian patriots. 8 months ago, people were thinking very differently than they are now. Now, people have started to recognize the tactics that were used to shut us down and to shut the truth down for the purpose of a very near future to come. Hindsight's always 20/20, isn't it? We had public health going into establishments and threatening to shut them down if they dared offer their facility to show our film. We had a group from out east taking advantage of and trying to weaponize the autistic community against us. Lower than low. We had the holier-than-thou government officials running smear campaigns every chance they had, and today you would recognize them as front and centers in the media during the coronavirus. But now we're starting to see why they were fighting so hard to keep people from seeing our film. Just 2 weeks after we wrapped up our screenings, did this virus make its way through our borders? Not likely, but. And just a week later, our Ontario government decided to push through Bill 188 after schools had only been closed for 1 week at this point. They rushed it through without public knowledge or input, which I'm pretty sure is a requirement here in Canada. Okay, so what was I missing? I mean, kids weren't going back anytime soon, so why all the secrecy and why all the urgency of 3 readings and a royal assent in 1 day? I'm pretty sure you can add it all up, Bill. But what is Bill 188, you may ask? It basically strips you and your children of privacy under the Public Health Information Protection Act. The same bill allowing police to obtain your private health records to determine your coronavirus status. Think about that.
Okay, Diane.
Access to your children's records in school and out, as well as yours. So some may think that sounds innocent enough, but when you tie in the Emergencies Act, the Quarantine Act, and more specifically, the Health Protection and Promotions Act, Section 35 to be exact, allowing a public health officer to have you or your child detained by order of a judge for up to 6 months. Now, if that's not enough, let's add in the little blurb updated by the CBC on July 21st, 2020, explaining how in case of an emergency, you should be packing extra medication, clothing, food, toys for your children to go to school, just in case they're separated from you for the I know, but you can read through the wording, can't you? Now it becomes terrifying, doesn't it? I've heard from many teachers about how they would never let that happen, and believe me, I trust you 150%, but I'm here to tell you it won't be up to you at or by that point. It will be done by the unelected officials spouting orders on public health officers to do the dirty work. And that's just the PG version. I haven't even begun to talk about the quarantine centers being established right now. Not convinced? Look up a company by the name of Onyx in Alberta. Or the situation happening in Regina, Saskatchewan right now. Unmarked vehicles picking up people in the night and taking them to quarantine rooms at the Ramada Hotel after testing negative. Boo. So it's coming, folks. You know it's trickling. You gotta keep your ears and your eyes open and your boots on the ground. So once again, I'm gonna say it louder for the people in the back. Do you still think this is about a virus? Out of curiosity and a show of hands, who here has plans to get the coronavirus vaccine? Wow. Who here doesn't have plans to get the coronavirus? Wow. Woo! You guys are awesome. Okay. Is anyone undecided? Yeah? No? Yeah? Okay. Woo! How have we managed to become so fearful of our own critical thinking that many of the population would willingly put their faith and trust into a vaccine that, number one, bypasses the proper protocols of safety testing by skipping animal trials altogether, which makes you the guinea pig, by the way. Number two, allow anyone to put a brand new mRNA technology into their body without batting an eye. As the mother of a vaccine-injured child, what I can tell you is there's no way in hell. Knowing what I know about this brand new technology and their DARPA gel, there is no coming back from this one, you guys. There is no detox for this one. This one wraps itself right into your body and takes hold. Yep. And Bill Gates. Are you kidding me? Not an engineer, not a doctor, not an epidemiologist, not a virologist, owns vaccine patents, owns vaccine companies. Yeah. Has maimed and killed over 30,000 girls in India with his HPV vaccine alone. Lawsuits are filed, Major WHO funder, here we go, and openly admits that there will be at least 700,000 adverse reactions to this new vaccine. And why does he have his nose in Canada's business anyways? We know it isn't out of the goodness of his heart. Why are our mayors and government officials so willing to sell out to his agenda? Isn't it funny how mask mandates came into play after his private meetings with some of our country's mayors? It is time for a new government. A government for the people. A government free from globalist agenda, corruption, tyranny, and lies. A transparent, patriotic government that puts Canadians first and cherishes our values, the diversity and freedom of its people.